A thin, trembling hand reached out from behind the gas station dumpster, two fingers pressed together, pointed toward the ground. It was small, barely noticeable, but unmistakable to anyone who knew what it meant. It was the silent signal children are taught when they can't speak the words, "Help me." And the man who saw it was the last person anyone would expect to respond with gentleness, a towering Hell's Angel named Cole Bear Maddox. Cole had stopped at the lonely roadside station after hours on the highway. His leather jacket was dusty, his boots heavy, and the roar of his Harley still echoed in the quiet air. People stiffened as he walked by, they always did. Tattoos, scars, and a reputation that followed him like a shadow tended to make that happen. But none of that mattered when he saw those two little fingers. He froze mid-step, eyes narrowing as he pretended to check the oil on his bike. His voice remained calm, low, and steady as he said, "Kid. I see you." A small boy stepped into sight. No older than 8. Thin, pale, his clothes dirty, his lips slightly swollen. He didn't speak, he just kept his fingers pointed down, the silent plea trembling in the air. Cole's heartbeat hammered. He had seen a lot in his life, fights, losses, betrayals, but nothing made his blood boil like a child in danger. He crouched down, slow and careful, so the boy wouldn't feel threatened. "All right, little man," he murmured. "Who hurt you?" Before the boy could answer, a harsh voice snapped from around the corner. "Eli. Get over here." The boy's flinch told Cole everything. A tall man strode toward them, his grip tightening on a half-crushed beer can. His eyes were sharp, angry, and unfocused, the eyes of someone who had spent a long time being cruel. "He bothering you?" the men growled at Cole. Cole stood, towering over him, but his voice remained steady. The boy signaled for help. The men scoffed. "He does that for attention. Get lost, biker." Cole didn't move. The men grabbed Eli's arm hard enough to make the child gasp. In that split second, Cole's restraint snapped. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't roar. He simply stepped forward, placed his massive hand on the man's wrist, and squeezed until the grip released. "You're going to step away," he said, calm as steel, "and you're not putting your hands on him again." The men yanked back, curses flying. "He's my kid." Cole's jaw tightened. "Then act like it." The station clerk peeked outside, startled by the tension. A couple of travelers lingered near their cars, unsure whether to intervene or drive away. But Cole didn't need backup. He had no intention of walking away from the boy. Eli tugged at Cole's sleeve. "Please, don't let him take me." Those words cut deeper than any knife. Cole called the police. The men erupted in fury, trying to grab Eli again, but Cole positioned himself like a wall, a living shield. The minutes felt like hours as the men shouted threats and excuses. Eli hid behind Cole's leg, shaking. When the officers finally arrived, the man's story unraveled quickly. Reports of past complaints. Witnesses. Signs of neglect and abuse that no excuse could hide. Eli clung to Cole when the officers tried to escort him away. His small voice whispered, "Stay, please." Cole crouched down again, meeting the boy's scared eyes. "I'm not going anywhere until you're safe." The officers allowed Cole to accompany Eli inside the patrol car to the station, a rare exception, but the boy wouldn't stop crying unless Cole was near. During the ride, Eli talked in broken pieces. He had been living with his father since his mother died. The man had lost himself in bitterness and alcohol. The yelling had turned to hitting. The hitting had turned to days without food. And the bruises told the story Eli was too scared to say. "You're brave," Cole whispered. "Braver than you know." At the station, a social worker arrived, a warm-voiced woman named Marlene. She gently guided Eli through questions, and Cole stayed nearby, giving the boy someone solid to lean on. When it was time for Eli to go with her, he panicked again. "Don't leave me, Bear," he cried, using the nickname he'd heard the officers say. Cole knelt down. "I'm not leaving you. I'm just letting people who can protect you do their job. But I'll check on you. I promise." Promises weren't something Cole gave lightly. He had broken too many in his life, but he wasn't breaking this one. Weeks passed. Cole visited Eli at the foster home, bringing him small things, a model Harley, a jacket patch, a bag of candy. But mainly, he brought something Eli had never really had before. Consistency. A man who showed up when he said he would. A man who listened. A man who didn't scare him. Their bond deepened as Eli slowly healed. The nightmares faded. The flinching stopped. The boy began to smile more, laugh more, trust more. And the biggest surprise came when Marlene told Cole that Eli had asked, a little shyly, if Cole could adopt him. Cole had never imagined himself as a father. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't gentle by design. But when he looked at Eli, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Purpose. "I'll do it," Cole said without hesitation. The process wasn't easy. Background checks. Interviews. Court hearings. Questions about Cole's past, his lifestyle, his club. It wasn't a smooth road, but Cole fought through every barrier with the same determination he once brought to street fights. Except now he was fighting for someone who truly needed him. Months later, the day came. Eli stood beside him in a tiny courtroom, clutching his hand as the judge announced the final approval. "Congratulations, Mr. Maddox. You are now his legal guardian." Tears slipped down Eli's face as he whispered, "Dad." Cole's voice broke. "Yeah, little man. I'm your dad." Everyone in the courtroom, even the judge, felt the weight of the moment. The boy who signaled for help. And the biker everyone feared. Found each other at exactly the right time. Their story spread later, through locals, then through social workers, then across social media, a tale of unexpected compassion and second chances. But for Cole and Eli, none of that mattered. What mattered was that Eli finally had a home. And Cole finally had a reason to stay grounded, ride safer, and wake up with a purpose every day. It all started with a silent signal for help. And a man no one believed had any gentleness left in him. But sometimes, the people the world fears the most are the ones most willing to battle the darkness for someone who can't fight it alone.